Von Miller very optimistic about facing a Browns team that is missing both of their starting tackles and also have plenty of other injury issues. So he called a shot. He's going to kill him, and we assume that he does not mean literally. MDS is with us now with a fantastic jersey in the background. Tell us what the jersey is, and then start us off with your Offensive Player of the Week.
It is the jersey that I wore at Cary Grove High School in Cary, Illinois during the 1994 high school football season. We only went 4-5. It was not a great year. But, you know, a team that is looking like they may be better than my senior year in high school football team was the Raiders, who actually played well. And my pick for the Offensive Player of the Week is Derek Carr. He had a big game on Sunday against the Broncos, one of the best games he's played, I think, all things considered. 341 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I kept thinking as I was watching this game, I think Carr may be better off without John Gruden. And although the two of them always said publicly that they were completely aligned, I always got a little bit of a sense that Gruden would have moved on from Carr the moment he could find a better quarterback. And Carr knew Gruden would move on from him if he could find a better quarterback. And that maybe the two of them were actually not as closely aligned as they liked to say they were publicly. And I actually think that Carr might be a more confident player without Gruden. I think it's just going to be fascinating to see the rest of this season. I mean, there's a million angles. We hardly even talk about the on-field because there's so much off-field with what's happening with the Raiders. But on the field, I can't help but wonder if Derek Carr isn't going to prove to be a better quarterback without John Gruden.
Not many teams have Derrick Henry's number, but the Bills did have his number. In 2018, he had 56 yards rushing, 2019, 78 yards rushing, and 2020, 57 yards rushing. And the Bills won 2 of those 3 games, but alas, Derrick Henry was Derrick Henry last night, Mike. 20 carries, 143 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He dominated that game. He was the difference in that game, and I think we should start talking about him as an MVP candidate if the Titans can continue to win, because Derrick Henry is the reason when they win, why they win.
And we need to be appreciating Derrick Henry for the greatness that he demonstrates each and every week. He is this decade's Adrian Peterson, and there was a lot more excitement about Adrian Peterson than there is about Derrick Henry. And I don't get it. Maybe it's because he plays for a team that still doesn't fully register on the radar screen the way it should, but it should. It should. And Derrick Henry at times is just flat out unstoppable. When he busted through the line last night, and they act like, well, but he could go all the way. No, he is going all the way, and he can run as far as he wants, as long as he wants, and nobody is catching him. He is gone. And that combination of speed and size and strength is rare, and we need to appreciate it while he's still doing it. Jonathan Taylor, a guy we need to appreciate, who's just getting his career started, second-year tailback for the Colts, 145 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, my Offensive Player of the Week. And I just think it was impressive that the Colts, after having their hearts ripped out and shown to them against the Ravens on Monday night, short week, got it together, got down to business. Yeah, they were playing the Texans, but until the Texans are relegated to the CFL or the XFL, they're still in the NFL, and they're still capable of beating you any given week. I was impressed by what the Colts did, and I'm impressed by Jonathan Taylor. Defensive Player of the Week time. MDS, who do you have?
T.J. Watt made the game-changing forced fumble in overtime, but even before that, I thought he was having an outstanding game. He just showed so much quickness and power coming out of his stance. Play after play, really led the Steelers, I thought. And I have serious doubts about Ben Roethlisberger's ability to lead the Steelers to many wins this season. But maybe Watt and the defense can win enough low-scoring defensive games to get the Steelers to the playoffs. Maybe some cold, bad weather games, Roethlisberger doesn't hold them back too much on offense, and that defense can maybe do something in January, and I think T.J. Watt is the biggest reason for that.
We don't mention Max Crosby very much when we talk about the top edge rushers, but maybe we should. 3 sacks, 10 pressures versus Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos. He's been terrific putting pressure on the quarterback this season, Mike. 6 tackles and a pass defense as well.
Yeah, and I'm going with a guy who's a great story, and I love to see the guys who have had detours to their careers due to substance abuse issues that I frankly believe the NFL should not be in the business of policing ever. They're not PEDs. It's when you're talking about marijuana, it's a substance that's legal in more and more states all the time. Randy Gregory getting his career back on track. The folks at PFF rated him the Defensive Player of the Week under their analytical model. I rate him the Defensive Player of the Week because of this hit right here. Holy crap. I didn't think Mac Jones was getting up. And I told Chris Sims earlier today, I really did fear that Jones was going to have a ruptured spleen like Sims did, because that's the kind of hit that Sims took the day in September 2006 when he ended up with a ruptured spleen and nearly dying on the field. And I was paying close attention to Mac Jones after that, because that hit from Gregory that will strike fear in all quarterbacks who are getting ready to play the Cowboys, because they're not going to want to get hit like that. They're going to be watching for Randy Gregory. That was a powerful statement by him. Rookie of the Week time, MDS.
Khalil Herbert is a sixth-round rookie running back for the Bears, and with the Bears' top two running backs, David Montgomery and Damian Williams, both out, Herbert stepped in with 19 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown. I've said it before, if you're going to draft a running back, the time to do it is the third day of the draft. We've seen it time and again that these late-round running backs like Herbert can produce very well when called upon, and you see it there against the Packers. He had a very good game. The Bears offense didn't have a lot going, but I thought the best player they had was the sixth-round rookie, Khalil Herbert.
Congratulations to Trevor Lawrence. He gets his first win. The Jaguars end their 20-game losing streak, do it against the Dolphins. 319 yards and a touchdown for Trevor. But, Mike, you talked to Trevor Lawrence after that game. It was that 9-yard pass that left 1 second on the clock that set up the field goal that really got it done for the Jaguars.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was great to see how that unfolded. Not great for the Dolphins, though, who called the timeout that allowed the Jaguars to change their minds. For me, it's Jamar Chase, and we talked about him in the last segment, so I'm not going to spend too much time other than saying the guy is great. He had another great week. He is now the second highest yardage generator as a rookie through 6 games behind Anquan Bolden, and he's just showing up every single week and getting it done. Real quickly, MDS Coach of the Week.
Chase's coach, Zach Taylor, has that Bengals offense humming right now. I was a little skeptical of Taylor heading into this season, but I'm starting to think this Bengals team may just be headed to the playoffs, and Zach Taylor has that offense playing just the way he wants.
The Cardinals and Raiders faced huge adversity going into last week's game. Rich Bisaccia, I go way back with him, did a great job with the Raiders. I think he has a chance to lead this team to the postseason. It's a job he's always wanted. If he does well in this job, maybe he gets a full-time job.
You know, every time they cut to Mike Vrabel last night, he looked like he just wanted to leave. Like, this night is not going to go my way. He looked exasperated, but he held it together early and forced the Bills to take field goals instead of touchdowns. And they hung around long enough to make it a game. It became an exciting game. And then on that fateful 4th and short, the shift that pulled the defensive line together just in time for Josh Allen to walk up to the line of scrimmage and try that sneak. And I've watched that 50 times. I think when Josh Allen is trying to sell the Titans defense that he actually was just like communicating with his linemen, he didn't notice the shift to pinch to the middle to guard against the sneak, and he ran right into the teeth of the defense. Vrabel held firm. Vrabel held off the Bills and got a much-needed win to 4-2.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.